sweatshirt 3 weeks in a row. No, you didn't. Mind your business. I live in this sweatshirt in Halloween, so...
Boo.
Okay. Hi, welcome to the Music Lens Podcast with me, Alex Allegra.
And Katie V.
It is almost When you hear this, it's already been Halloween.
No.
When you hear this, it will be Halloween.
It will be Halloween.
Are we doing this next?
I don't know if this is coming out before or after the one we just recorded, but it will be in October regardless.
Oh, okay. It will be?
Yeah, because the two we're recording today are the 23rd and 30th. So this is either a week and a day before Halloween or the day before.
So what are you going to be
Where are we in time?
Yeah, what are you going to be for Halloween, Katie, this year?
I think I'm just going to be a witch. I got this like maxi skirt that's black with like stars on it from Pink Lily, and I justified it by saying I could wear it on stage as like just an outfit too, with like different stuff obviously for the top, so it's not witchy, because that would be a little weird if I do that in like March. But yeah, I think I'm just gonna be a witch. I got like a mini like witch hat. It's like on a headband and stuff, so keeping it classic Halloween this year.
Okay.
What are you gonna be, Alex?
So I think my costume really revolves around what my dog is going to be doing, because I really only have to bring it to work, but I still want to involve my boyfriend because I am that person and makes us do also a couple costumes. So I think Ant's going to go as a dinosaur, and I'm going to be someone in Jurassic Park. I'm voting for maybe Jeff Goldblum at the moment. But no, I have not bought the costumes yet, so that still needs to happen.
Yeah.
But it's hard to find costumes for a dog like Ant because he's so big.
Yeah. My vote was for him to be a Target shopping cart, but you said it wouldn't work. But they have big ones, so I don't know.
We didn't like it. We saw it at the store. We didn't choose it.
Okay. Yeah. I don't know. I know that Sam's going to be working on actual Halloween, so for that purpose, I'm like, I'll just be a witch, but I'm still tempted to get like a pink tie-dye shirt and just like throw together a Luke and Lorelai Gilmore Girls costume for like a picture, because I know we can just like, other than the pink tie-dye, I think we can use stuff we already have to do it.
I think I'll have rehearsals on Thursday night of Halloween, so I don't know if Brayden and I will actually be in the same room together on Halloween at all. So we'll see if he actually does anything. He might not. I don't even think he'll sit outside for trick-or-treaters. He likes to...
We don't get trick-or-treaters, but we're kind of like, I mean, you see the houses next to us. It's not like that big of land for each property, but
yeah,
like,
but if I was a kid that lived in that area, I
there's
would
no
be
sidewalks
somewhere else. Yeah, I would not be in...
I don't even know if there are kids around, honestly. I don't think I've really seen kids. They're all usually like our age or older people. So, I guess our age. Well, our neighbor has kids. I just forget that because I never see her outside that often. I just love her dog. But yeah, I've never really, other than at my parents' house when I've helped with handing out candy, I've never like lived in a place that's my own that actually has trick-or-treaters. Like even our apartments, like people didn't do trick-or-treating at the apartments or anything.
But you know what we should have? I really wanted to do the boo things and like try and start a DoorDash, like the boo doors.
Oh, they're not Boo Basket. You've been booed.
Yeah, I really wanted to try and start that in one of our apartment complexes or something like that. But I was like, if you don't know what
that would have been cuter to do at Belmont, I think.
Yeah.
Like on campus.
But like it's one of those things that like if you know what to do, or like obviously it has a sheet that comes with it. Yeah. But also it's just one of those things that like you could also easily be left out, and I didn't want anyone to like feel left out or anything. Or if it stops, like if somebody doesn't actually continue it, then it gets like
trying to think, didn't we have like trick-or-treating freshman year, but I just remember we did. Okay.
It was trick-or-treating.
I just remember having a basket or our Halloween bucket like stolen, and then it kind of reappeared at one point.
That was sad.
Yeah, because we had some mean people living around us that
because we didn't want to. We already had planned that we were going to do a movie night in our dorm room, but like our hall was being used as a trick-or-treating spot.
Was that what it was?
The whole dorm was, so you'd like go down the hallway, and everyone chose to like stand outside in your costumes or not, and we probably should have, but we already had plans, so I was like, I'm just gonna stay inside, and then we wanted to be nice. I just remember
having like the basket. I keep calling it a basket. The bucket, the jack-o'-lantern bucket, like as a decoration outside our dorm, and it getting like stolen, and then eventually just like randomly reappeared. So, I don't remember that being tied to trick-or-treating. It was just like a decoration. But yeah, I don't know, because we don't have kids, but I feel like it's been more of a trend, instead of doing the whole house to house, door to door trick-or-treating, is to like organize a trunk or treat in a parking lot.
I've seen trick or treats a lot, yeah.
And doing things like that instead of going house to house. And I don't know if that's like a stranger danger safety thing of like it's less likely for anything bad to happen if it's just like in a parking lot versus someone's house that you don't know that you're going up to, or what.
It's probably like a combination of things. People really liked it during COVID. Then you don't have to work. Like, I think it works too when like you have a lot of like very spread out house areas, then like everyone can actually like come together and do it. So
I guess this then also, like, if parents don't want to go trick-or-treating with their kids house to house, it's like maybe a shorter thing, and then they can keep an eye on them, versus like you have the battle of either taking your kids trick-or-treating or trusting them to be alone, which isn't necessarily safest, even though my parents did that at some points too. But yeah,
I always wanted to. My parents were,
but it was like, well, I guess when I was getting to the point of like older, where I'm like, should we be doing this anymore?
That, yeah, probably like one of my like last couple years, like before we did it high alone. School, and
yeah, I can't remember if it was 8th grade or freshman year was my last year, honestly.
But at that point, it was like we all just wanted like a chance to hang out again, and like because it was like a group of us, and we just wanted to go hang out. So
yeah, but yeah, I don't know what I'm doing exactly yet for Halloween, but we'll see. There's some options, so I just gotta figure it out. I know I can dress up for work, so that will be nice. So yeah, what do you have for us, Alex?
So today I was gonna do something spooky, but since we've given you guys spooky throughout the entire month of October, essentially, except for,
I don't know if conspiracies are necessarily spooky.
Okay, well,
they're spooky-esque.
Ghost stories were outside of our normal content, and we're continuing with it being fun content today. But I finally have found some Reddit stories that are r/musicians. For musicians, what's the craziest stories you have from tour horror stories?
Okay.
So I've got a couple of those. I've been really into this podcast called Two Hot Takes lately, where they read like Am I the Asshole, or like that kind of stories.
Yeah.
And it's so fun. And I tried to find some like Am I the Asshole stories of that, so that we could have an actual discussion and conversation.
Yeah, have, like music related ones or whatever.
But I couldn't find anything like that. We still want your stories, people from...
Yeah, we've mentioned it a long time ago, and then we we mentioned at the end you can send stuff in like every episode, but I don't think we've like specifically been like, we want listener stories to read for a full episode. So yeah, we still want that. We just need to have enough to like actually have a full episode's worth of content, I think, unless we just do like whatever we have at the start of an episode before a topic or something. But
yeah,
it'd be fun to hear people's stories firsthand of anything really related to music. Like you said, horror stories. We could do Am I the Asshole if you want us to judge you, I guess, of something you did on a gig. I don't know, or how you interacted.
Yeah.
How you interacted with a crowd. Was it like appropriate or not? I don't know.
Yeah.
Things like that. How did you handle the tourist that was heckling you to play Freebird? or refuse to tip you, or I've seen people who warn about, like, they'll send a screenshot of, like, beware of this person on Venmo who requested their money back after they'll, like, tip you and do a song request on Venmo, and then they'll, like, say, hey, that was fraudulent, I didn't actually do that, even though they did. So
that's so weird. I've never heard of that before.
Yeah, there's people who do that. It's stupid.
Well, okay. Well, that's why I kind of like the whole cash system anyways with it. It's just getting a lot tougher because people don't carry cash on them all the time anymore. But I feel like, especially with Nashville, it's a little bit easier because people go out with the expectation of, like, you're in a touristy town, you're on your vacation, and people normally take out money before they go on vacation sometimes. Yeah. So that can be a little easier, but
then they complain if they have to use a card. I'm just like, the musicians will happily take your money. Like, the bartenders will take your money. We just can't do it in here.
Yeah. And it's not like that for every place. But anyways, yeah. Okay. So, yes, like I said, I only read a couple of these. So, we'll read a couple. Yeah. But there's one that I'm skipping that has the most because it is kind of sad and I didn't really want to bring down the mood, so sorry to that one. But okay, so this one they claimed was funny. It was somewhat funny. It was also, it's from 2 years ago. Okay, I just thought it'd be a good little icebreaker moment. Okay, so this is from, I thought it was deleted, but the account's just called, or actually the account might be deleted. I think the account was deleted, actually, is what I'm learning. I've never actually read on Reddit.
It's fine.
Okay, so I was in Europe. Don't want to give the country away in case other people remember this story. My band and I were walking back from a gig, and we had a lot of gear with us. We passed this club where, in broken English, the people who were standing outside asked if we could come play the club. We told them that we would, but had to drop off some stuff, and we'd gladly be back to play. So we went and dropped off our stuff, and a couple of band members were like, let's not go. But me and a few guys were like, no, we should totally do it. This will be fun and it'll be an adventure. So we went back to the club and walked in, and the group of people who had originally spoken to us were nowhere to be seen. Although the place was packed, so our singer went and looked for somebody he could talk to about getting set up to play. And as I'm looking around, I'm seeing the number 16 all over the club. It finally dawns on us that this is some girl's 16th birthday party, and we're in our late 30s. So at this point, the father of the 16-year-old kind of accosts our singer and was like, what the hell are you doing at my daughter's birthday party? Everyone is pissed. He explains that we were invited to come in and play, and the oldest son comes over and starts kind of negotiating with us, and they're asking us to play all these songs we've never heard of in a different language, and we are used to being put on the spot. So we nervously said, yeah, sure, we can do this. And the brother wants to go round up the entire group of people who are looking like they're going to kill us. Oh. So we explained that we're just going to go out for a quick cigarette and we'll be back to come and play and set up. And they ran away with all their gear and around the block and ran for like a mile straight to get away from this crew of crazy 16-year-olds and their family.
Okay. What happened to the people originally, though?
I don't know. It never says, like, there are 2 replies, but somebody just asked, how do you find gigs in Europe? Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was it.
Yeah. Just like, what happened to the people that asked you to play? They just, like, disappeared, I guess. Didn't think that they were coming back.
That's so weird. I mean, I've had some people that are like, oh, I'll take your card and, like, maybe, like, for other opportunities. Mm-hmm. But it's also never, like, they never remember or follow up. And it's just, like, they have my information, but I don't have theirs. Mm-hmm. Like, why wouldn't you get some information? I would have, like, been like, oh, they're joking. Oh, they're drunk or something. But also, it's a 16-year-old's birthday party, so I don't know how drunk they were.
Right, yeah. I don't know. Were the people even with the 16-year-old party?
That's also a good question, yeah.
Or if they were, like, I don't know. Were they, like, there and then we're like, we need music, and ask them to play, and then they go in and they're like, oh, private event, we're gonna just leave, and that's why.
There's
maybe?
so many
know.
details that are so weird about this. Yeah, like, what? Why wouldn't you, like, I get like, okay, they had the gear and all this stuff, and like they're trying to like go back, but like, wouldn't you like at least like get some information like regarding what was going on?
Yeah,
would you have played, or would you have left? I always
depends on the situation.
Here's the thing: I always think, and nothing against, it was also like a scam for a while. People were like, hey, could you like write a song for like my 16-year-old birthday and all this stuff, right? But like, I always think, maybe it's just like I'm not bougie enough to have people come play at my birthday parties, but like when people ask me like, hey, I want you to come play out of the blue, just emailing me, I always think it's some kind of scam or something. Like, and it just feels weird for me to be like, yeah, let me go play your 16-year-old's birthday party with me and my guitar. And I'm like, what do you want to hear?
What
like,
do you want?
Why wouldn't you just, I mean, like, it's great. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, business is business. Like, I want to be singing for people. But it's so weird to just, like, think of, like, going into a backyard just to play, like, for this random people.
I mean,
I don't
that's
know.
literally what Anna does all the time.
But they
Anna Boss has, like, booked backyard tours.
Yeah, but that feels a little bit more like, okay, like, they know what to expect.
That's
I
fair.
don't know. Sometimes I just, like, always question it. But yeah. Okay.
Next one?
The next one. What time? Okay, 20 minutes. I'll need to find a lot. 2 years ago. I assume that this whole thread is from, like, 2 years ago.
That's fine. It doesn't have to be recent.
Yeah, it is from 2 years ago. I gotta go back down. Hold on. Okay. So... this one's from a Raging Bean Sid.
Okay.
I hope that wasn't anything weird. Okay, ready? When I was young, like 18, I auditioned as a singer for a top local 40s cover band. J-Lo, Britney, Cher, Madonna, etc. Went well, got the gig. This next horror story isn't about the tour, but it is important for the second horror story. So there's like a couple stories within this one story is what I'm guessing. So found out this man, late 50s male, who ran the band actually made mini disc tracks as he couldn't find reliable keys, but they had backup vocals and drums on the tracks too. The drummer played over the track live, and the other 30s female singer actually sang backup over the track and faked playing keys. Main dude played live guitar. I thought it was weird and hella disingenuous, but it was $17 an hour, including setup and tear down time, and it was consistent money, and more money than they'd ever made. Then one day she couldn't make it, and I was told I had to fill in on fake keys. Cue panic. Haven't taken exactly one semester of intro to piano in community college so far. It was embarrassing at best, but I got through it, and only one group of dudes came up and mocked me for faking it. Clearly, to anyone who was sober enough to notice, these three apparently. I took it as a sad win. 1 month later, he announces he put together a whole tour and about 3 months worth of gigs lined up. Unexpected as hell because we were a cover band, but I guess the vids he had sold it, and I was jazzed to do a paid tour as well. But he said I had to take over like 25% of fake keys duties. Then this is second horror story. I haven't read this part of it. I only read that first part. And I was like, okay. About 8 shows in, so like 2 weeks, we go to this bar in Georgia, the Onion Place. It's straight out of Blues Brothers, with some fencing up on part of the stage and straight up honky-tonk atmosphere and crowd. I am immediately concerned, as this place is not the kind of place we have played so far, nightclubs, casinos, etc. Additionally, they run their own sound, and this place has a really good sound guy who is very touchy about his stuff. During setup, he becomes confused as to why he can't get a single signal on this particular channel when it is clearly audibly playing. This poor guy is losing his mind, and my face is 1,000,000 degrees as I know is 1,000,000 degrees as I know the reason why. So his face is like
yes,
red.
yeah.
I was like, did that make sense? Band dude keeps telling sound dude not to worry. He's just running his own weird setup, etc. Guy is not having it and just keeps insisting it doesn't make any sense. Starts to trace cables, and I see band guy sweating. Dude pulls the unattached to anything chord from the keyboard out from under the drum carpet where it was shoved to look legit. He looks at me standing in front of the keys. I shrug and laugh and point to band dude, who instead of being honest refuses to explain, and the guy gets the manager. There are like 5 giant dudes around us. Voices are raising. Band guy is insisting nothing is weird. Sound guy is like, go play the keys again, then without touching anything else or on your rig. He knows, but band guy just decides to go full Jersey Shore instead of, did I mention this guy was on Jersey Shore? Did I mention this guy was full on Jersey Shore? Fake tan, muscle shirt, slicked hair, tight leather pants, like to dinner, not just on stage, and acts like he wants to fight. Sound guy explains that the band dude is ripping them off and we are Milli Vanilli-ing the whole thing. Do you know who Milli Vanilli is?
No.
They got ripped to shreds for
just tracks,
for lip syncing and stuff.
Lip-syncing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Says he paid for live music, and he fucking did, right? Band dude gets defensive because we were like 30% Milli Vanilli-ing the whole thing. Somehow band dude manages to slick talk his way into being allowed to play one night of the 5 booked because we were from far away and there was no time to switch bands. It goes shockingly well considering we were apparently an experiment to see if the normal Friday crowd, again a honky-tonk, would mind switching it up sometimes in an effort to attract more clientele. No wonder no one warned them or us about this experiment, so it could have gone worse. But I had one Shania Twain song on the queue, and apparently that was enough to please the masses. Instead of us taking tips and gracefully departing to our next location, band guy decides to insist they pay us 50% of the agreed fees if they were going to toss us out 4 days early. Now, these kinds of folks were providing accommodation, 2 band mobile homes behind the venue, and food at their homes. They were so fucking nice, and band guy is insulted by them thinking he is a con artist, which in my opinion he became as soon as he denied it rather than lean in and explain his bullshit. Things are escalating, threats are flying, band guy says he is suing, bar owner says you're lucky there are so many witnesses right now, etc. Big dudes start looking at the rest of us who want no parts, so the drummer nopes out fast, taking the other singer with him. Bassist leaves with the rest of the gear that isn't band dudes, including my PA and mic. I begged to go with them, but they had no room and just wanted to go. Aww. Now realizing I was stuck with band dude in Georgia, many hundreds of miles away from home, and by myself in this rapidly deteriorating situation, I decided to step in and try to defuse. I did. I was a tiny girl at the time, just kind of threw myself in the middle and screamed for everyone to shut up for a second and worked my magic.
There you go.
The owner and his friends were honestly very nice to me. They said they understood I didn't know this guy was like this, and they would give me bus money home, and I could stay the night in the trailer if I still wanted to. But I declined, because still, I didn't want to be alone as a young chick in the middle of a place I didn't know, or anyone in, Fair. Or even near. Band guy agrees to take 1 night pay and we leave. I wish I could say that was it because we just had to go home, but he found a way to torment me a little further. His dad lived in South Carolina, and it was on the way. Dad wanted to give him his dope old Lincoln, so we would go stay there and get it and go home. That is what happened. 3 days later. 3 days of essentially being held hostage, as no one I knew could come get me, and he kept saying we would leave. His dad was super nice but ultra religious, and I'm like a goth witch, lol. It was real uncomfortable. I was so glad to get home. If you have anything mean to say to me, don't worry. I felt guilty then and still do, forever participating in that farce, even if I did need the money badly. All band experiences have been way better by comparison, thankfully.
She's a goth witch. It ties back to Halloween.
It does. There you go. That was a lot to unpack.
That is a lot to unpack. First of all, tracks are a normal thing. But to like pretend that you're playing live is a different thing.
Yeah. That's crazy. I mean, I get wanting to fill out your sound a little bit, but like there was no reliable keys player, or like just get rid of the keys.
You don't need to be hauling around a keyboard if you're not actually gonna play it. Like it's fine that like you have tracks that are instruments that aren't on stage, as long as you have like a good chunk of them live. Like,
also, I feel like it's very understandable to be like, hey, we just can't find a keys player, all that's on these tracks, and get rid of the drums and stuff. You have a live drum player. Just explain, like, literally all that's on here are keys because we can't find a keys player. Like, I think that's totally understandable. Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, why wouldn't she just say, like, oh, we fake the keys part, but everything else is real? Like, call him out. I mean, like, I guess it's... You wanted the money, she's probably afraid to, like,
say anything until she finally had enough. Yeah, and was like, shut up.
I can't believe the other guys didn't take her though. Like, what the heck? Just left her with him. Oh, they were like, nope, bye. Oh my gosh, I can't even imagine that. Like, just leaving the rest of your band like stranded. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and like a 5-day run at the same venue too and stuff. Of like the contract thing or well, he was like wanting 50% of the pay for the 5 days or something, and it's like, okay, well, what does the contract say? Were you in breach of contract by faking keys and stuff?
Yeah, I was like, what did you promise or get promised within this contract? Because
it's like, if it would all have to depend on the contract of like if you legally can get compensated for the canceled shows or not.
Yeah, so
I'm just curious with that too. But if he was being an asshole about it, then it's like,
clearly he was trying to pull something over, but like it also just, it's such a weird thing to try and pull something over on somebody because it doesn't really seem like it's something.
It shouldn't even be that serious. Big of a deal. I don't know why he was trying to be weird about it when they found out that like, oh, we make it look like it's coming from the keyboard, but it's not actually. Like, just own up to it.
Or, you know what would be smarter is if you just, like, link the tracks, if you had a keyboard that did this, like, put the tracks in through the keyboards. Like, have everything, like, pre-set up on your keyboard. Yeah. And, like, then you're using the keyboard at least.
Yeah.
Or, like, no one... She said she, like, has basic keyboard knowledge. But I guess if she was the main singer, it's probably, like... I mean, even I think, like, that's probably, like, the same level of, like, piano, like, I would be at. Although I played piano for a lot longer. I just never, like, retained it that much. But, like, wouldn't you think you could at least, like, play the bass chords throughout the song? And then it's just, like, not the fancy...
Right.
Parts. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. That's a lot.
Such a weird... Oh, my goodness.
Long story. There was a lot to unpack. Oh my gosh.
But I'm glad you found a better situation.
Whoever you are, yes.
Yeah, don't get involved with people who want to try and pull something over on venues. It's not going to work well. I mean, if it wasn't that venue, it probably could have been a different one. Like,
right. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I can't believe they got rid of it. Well, I guess they said that this was the only time that, like, they had an extra sound person. Like, it sounds like they set everything up.
Right. The other venues, I think they ran their own sound. And then this one, it was like, no, the venue has someone that insists on running it a certain way.
But,
yeah. Yeah. What else you got?
Okay. Let's try this one. The account is deleted, but okay. I had a night in Brooklyn where this is an 8-part theory. It's 8-part series, like bullet pointed. So
okay.
1. Our opening act was an improv troupe, not a band. We were told it was a band. 2. A 100% completely coincidental surprise family visit turned into us getting completely sideways with a few Aussie models. Our bassist cousin lived across the street from the bar we played. Neither of them knew the other would be there. I know.
What?
That they ran into their family.
Okay.
at the same place that they were getting it on with some Aussie models.
Okay.
I don't know. Our lead singer let this get to his head, acted like an idiot, and we got kicked out. Was trying to pump up the crowd for the headliner by dancing on the bar, was not well received. We drunkenly managed to get back to our hotel in New Jersey. Our lead singer did not, and his phone was dead.
Oh, no.
Our lead singer burst into the room at 7 a.m. I have pissed myself. Our lead singer and our keyboardist wrestle on the floor after a brief argument. These men were in their early 40s. Our keyboardist broke down crying, and we got into trouble for smoking cigarettes in the room. Makeup
Why did I
Denny's.
just have an image of sadness from inside out?
Makeup at Denny's was a great success.
Okay.
Apparently, that was the whole night in Brooklyn. No, sleep till Brooklyn.
Okay.
That's just what came up. Okay, ready for anything to say about that one?
Oh, it was just a lot of randomness.
Yeah.
But, yeah. That was all one night?
Yeah.
Okay. It's a lot.
There's no comments or else I'd say.
Okay.
Horror Story by Context Fuzzy. In 2019, I was conducting the Game of Thrones live concert experience tour in North America.
Whoa.
Which I didn't even know was a thing, but okay.
Okay, nerd.
We played big city amphitheaters, Hollywood Bowl kind of places.
Dang.
The entire concert was showcasing the music of the show, but underscored a giant screen with iconic scenes from the show. Oh, that's actually pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
My mom goes to a lot of those kinds of I know the Symphony here in Nashville does it. She loves that kind of stuff. We played the whole show to click. Directly in my view, above the score, was a steamer. A screen that gives you a bar number, a beat number, and streamer. A screen,
I was like, what?
I read it wrong. A streamer. A screen that gives you bar number, beat number, and a blink on every metronome click to catch if something goes awry. So our first concert was in Toronto in front of a huge audience. We would rehearse the show in LA a bunch, so I was super comfortable with everything. Soundcheck was great. The local orchestra members were awesome. To open the show, there's a low drone as a White Walker approaches, growing bigger until it's just his giant blue eye, and then we immediately surge into the theme song. Stage goes darks. We walk on. The audience gets excited. I smile at a bandmate and get ready to start. As the White Walker gets closer, the streamer usually starts, and I put up my arms to prep the orchestra. Except this opening night, our Pro Tools engineer didn't hit the go button for the streamer, and we didn't have it. No click, no streamer, just suddenly into the song. It took about 2 to 3 measures to get everyone together, and I'm sure the audience wasn't entirely put off, but I was horrified. I spent the rest of the first half of the show focused on the mistake, made sure it was never going to be a problem during intermission, and finished the concert. We played another month or so of shows, and it was never a problem again. But damn, if I didn't worry every night that the clicks wouldn't work, that would be me.
Yeah.
I would just be constantly like...
Yeah, I always started off on such a bad foot.
Yeah. Ugh.
Yeah.
So she must be a music director of something.
Yeah, I was like...
Oh, I was conducting. Okay, she was the conductor.
I didn't hear that part.
I didn't either.
And I was envisioning her being in the orchestra. I'm like, oh, wait, no, you're conducting now? Okay.
That's what I was thinking. I was like...
It's like you have an image in your mind of a story, and then there's like a detail that completely changes it, and you're like, wait a minute, now I have to reassess what I'm seeing.
I didn't know they had that, though. That's really cool. A streamer that, like,
Yeah.
produces everything like that. I've never been in a pit, so I didn't know.
Right. I wanted to. Well, not in like that type of situation, but like I wanted to do the musical at in high school for Pitt, but they just like picked people at random instead of doing an audition, so I did not get picked.
Yeah, we're using a pit for the musical I'm in right now. We're doing a live, it's like a 3-piece band. Like they're doing one person on keys, but it's not really keys. They're like doing the horn parts.
Okay.
And then one person's going to be a guitarist, and then I think somebody's doing the drums. But we're doing like live music, which will be so cool and so fun, and I'm excited for.
Mm-hmm.
But last time I did it at this theater, it was all to track, and while I found the tracks to be annoying, at least you know what you're getting every single time.
Right.
But there's a lot of like and also I'm not like main singing person ever, so like it wouldn't bother me. But I'm hoping also you can hear it better, because I will say the way that the theater is designed, it's like really hard to hear on stage, but it's very loud in the audience. So it's like that balance of like turn it up, but then the audience is blasted with more song.
Right.
And there was always like parts where I'm sure it's just like they couldn't hear it, but like the leads would get off on like the tracks all the time, like in my one musical that I did. And I was like, nope, you're a minute. Like I would like, I'm like trying to like, how do I like get it? But I'm hoping then at least you can like hear it, since it'll be coming from behind you, because they're going to be
behind you.
Yeah, they're putting the pit behind us.
Okay. I just picture my high school theater as the pit being in the front.
Yeah, no, they're putting the pit behind us.
But I liked it of like, I went, because musicals were every other year. And so it was my freshman and junior year. And then freshman year of college, since we were done like end of April, like I was able to go to the spring musical at my high school. And it was the Addams Family, and like the orchestra director was Thing.
Oh, that's fun.
Just like had her hand pop out of the pit and just be Thing that way.
That's
so
cute. Yeah.
It's like, oh cool, we still get to have Thing be a part of the family.
I don't remember if we had a live pit in high school. I feel like we might have used tracks. I'm not sure.
Interesting.
I can't remember. I mean, we might have.
Yeah.
It would make sense, but I don't know where they sat.
Yeah. I don't know.
Okay.
Do you have others? Where are we at? Do one more.
We'll do one more for you. Let's hope that this one. Okay. Not really a horror story, just a funny story. In 1994, I was opening for Motorhead at a place in Virginia called Boomers. It was the loudest I had ever heard my guitar on stage. I deducted that watching them from the crowd would be painful on my ears, so I watched their set from the side of the stage. Make no mistake, it was painful loud. From where I just was the next to the backs of the PA line and the power amps. At one point, a power amp just burst into flames. There was a roadie 3 feet from me chatting up some bird. I yelled at him that there's a fire. He couldn't hear me. Then I just pointed to the fire. At that moment, he just went over to one of the many fans back there and pointed a fan at the fire. The fire went out, and then he went back to chatting up the girl. I was shocked at how nonchalant he was about it. This was years before the Great White Incident, by the way. I just thought, man, that's rock and roll.
Wouldn't you be afraid that the fan would just like help it spread?
Yeah, apparently they know this happens all the time.
This will blow it right out.
Yeah, there are some at work. There are some concerts that people are like, I don't want to go to it because it's just loud. Mm-hmm. Like it's just a wall of sound.
It's gonna be too loud. Yeah.
But
yeah. My guitar was too loud in my monitor on Thursday for the round I played, and I should have like said something, but I just adjusted it on my on the actual guitar, and I'm like, it's probably fine for the audience if it's a little quieter too.
I'm surprised you can use that speaker and it's not like out of commission and like it's still working and after the fire.
Oh yeah, you're back in the story.
Yeah, I was like,
yeah,
after a fire, and you're just like, okay, it'll just keep going. Like, doesn't that mean some electrical problem happened on the inside? Yeah. Like, shouldn't you get that looked at?
Maybe unplug it too. Like,
yeah, like
let's not keep this plugged in.
Just it up. I wonder if the audience saw it too.
I don't know. It depends exactly where it is, but yeah, interesting.
Okay.
We hope. What a way to end it. Fire.
But yeah, let us know if you guys have your own little weird tour stories. I love hearing them. I'm super excited to get, hopefully, one of the people I work with is writing a book about all of his crazy tour stories. So I'm excited for that.
Yeah. And like some of yours said, where it's like, oh, it's not a horror story. It's just a funny story and stuff. Like, we'll take any kind of music related story, so it doesn't have to be a horror story. It could be just good stories. And those can be sent to the Music Lens Podcast at gmail.com. And you could follow us on socials at the Music Lens Podcast on all the things. Alex is at Alex Allegra Music on all the things, and I am at Katie Fee Music on all the things. So, we don't know the order of these, so I don't know if this is end of October or not, but hope you enjoy your spooky season.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we'll see you next time. Bye.